Easy explanation for the 11 strikeouts. It just looked like everything was working tonight.
I don't know. I mean, I think at times everything was working. At times, like the first inning, not much was working at all. So I think the best explanation is, Mac and I and Clemic and everybody that came up with a plan. We just had a good plan. I think we executed it really well. Mac and I were just talking. I think everything we did tonight was probably the opposite of what we did last start. So I don't know if I should do that every time, but no, I just think we had a good plan. And turns out that it was the right plan to go with, and it helps when I have that fastball command. Obviously in the first inning didn't have it, and was able to find it there in between the first and second inning and kind of ride that a little bit.
Did you get concerned there in the first inning?
Always. Anytime you walk two guys and you get bases loaded and one out, there's always a little bit of concern. But with how I normally get ground balls and how I'm able to kind of induce that kind of contact, I'm always pretty confident. But I mean, when really fastball is the only pitch I was able to throw in the strike zone, that's probably the biggest concern, because at some point the hitters obviously see that as well. And McKinstry put a great swing on that 3-1 pitch, and thankfully it was right at Tony, and he made a great play.
What allows you to bounce back? You kind of made a penchant of bouncing back from a rough inning. What allows you to go deep into a game and kind of put that behind you?
I mean, each inning is its own inning. I think I just felt really uncomfortable out of the stretch that whole first inning. So, I mean, if you notice, like every inning after that, I threw almost every warm-up pitch from the stretch, because I needed to feel comfortable. I needed to feel a rhythm out of the stretch. But to your question, like every inning's a different inning. I came in after the first, looked at my report. That's where I find my confidence. That's where my preparation kind of locks me in, and you kind of figure out what pitches you're supposed to throw the next hitter. Like that first inning, if I give up 3 or give up 0, it's over already. And if I'm sitting there harping on the first inning, then I'm not going to be able to go out and do what I want to do in the second inning. So check your report, get with Mac, and get back out there and get as deep into the game as you can.
When the other starters are pitching so well, just how much does that motivate you to kind of keep this momentum going?
Yeah, I mean, I think a good starting rotation adds a lot of consistency to a team. I think I mentioned that to you a couple of you before. Like, that's really the job of the starting rotation is, make sure that these offensive guys know that we have a chance to win every single day. And if you can do what we've done and give up 4 or less and 3 or less in most of the times, then they know that not only are we going to be in the game, that they don't have to do a whole lot to win the game. So, that's really the goal for our rotation is, get that 5th, 6th inning wrapped up, have a lead, and, let this nasty bullpen take over.
How do you evaluate yourself just overall through these first few starts?
I mean, I'm pretty critical of myself overall, but, I think when I sit back and look at the video and look at how I've executed pitches for the most part, if I could cut down some walks, I'd be, pretty happy with it. One bad slider against the White Sox and, a couple pitches here or there. And I don't know that I could pitch much better, my first 5 or 6 outings. So I feel pretty good about it. It's being on a team this is a fun team to be on, when we've got 2 catchers, 3 catchers at times like these guys, and, an infield that's, just running around and making every play. Gary made a great reaching stab tonight. You never feel like there's a double play not going to get turned. And we got a lot of athletes in the outfield too. So, that's even more so than how I've been evaluating myself. This team has been a lot of fun to pitch for and to be on the mound every 5 days.
You've struck out 11 guys before in a game, but you've also got this reputation as a kind of a pitch to contact guy. Is it satisfying to go out there and be able to strike out 10 plus guys in the start?
Right now, I think I'm still working on trying to have more double-digit strikeout games than 0 strikeout games. So if I can get a couple more double-digit under my belt to have more than goose eggs, that'd be great. But I was joking with somebody. There's guys that do this every 5 days. I don't know how much fun that must be for them, because that's fun when you go out there and you feel unhittable most of the game. But you guys will, as you talk to me more and watch me pitch, I would much rather get a double play on Torkelson in that first inning than have to face 2 more guys. That's how I think about it. So, strikeouts kind of present themselves based on how you attack the first 3 pitches of the at-bat. And how you get to 2 strikes, I believe, for me, is very important. Because I don't necessarily have 95 to 98 to play up some of my spin. Sequencing is really important. How I get to 2 strikes sometimes for me dictates if I'm even in a strikeout count. You know, I mean, I had Badu. He did a great job in that 5th or 6th inning, I think. I just don't know that I had a sequence there to use a soft pitch to get a strikeout. You know, maybe he was just taking it away or whatever, and I didn't see that. But there's just times where it's better for me to say, hey, you're giving me an out here. I'm going to take my ground ball and move on. So that's kind of how I look at most ABs.